Hello and welcome to Off the Pitch, a channel that talks all about your sporting personalities. And today we continue with the story of Pele. So subscribe, like and share with your friends, and visit the channel to watch more Off the Pitch videos. Regarded as the greatest footballer of all time, at his peak, Pele was the highest paid athlete in the world. Even after his retirement, Pele's net worth included millions of dollars in endorsements, including a huge paycheck to tie his shoes. More on that later. At the time of his death, Pele was 82 and he died after a short battle with colon cancer. Born Edson Arantes do Nascimento on October the 23rd in 1940 in Tres Coracoes, Minas Gerais, Brazil, he earned the nickname Pele after mispronouncing Pele, a goalkeeper who played for Vasco da Gama during his childhood. Growing up, his family was so poor they couldn't afford a football, so Pele would use a grapefruit or rolled up socks stuffed with newspapers to practice. His father was his first coach and his first football team was formed with a group of friends from his neighborhood that called themselves the Shoeless Ones. He would rise to become one of the most transformative figures in 20th century sport, achieving a level of celebrity few athletes come to know, with a hefty net worth to boot. At the time of his death, Pele's net worth was around $100 million. According to reports, most of his money was made after his football career. He debuted professionally at the age of 15 with Santos in 1956 and scored in his very first match. The following year, he was the top scorer overall in the entire Brazilian professional league. He was quickly called to play for El Seleção. At the age of 17, he became the youngest player to play, as well as win a FIFA World Cup in 1958. Brazil would go on to win in the 1962 and 1970 World Cups. During the late 60s, competition between sportswear brands Adidas and Puma had become so furious they actually signed somewhat of a peace treaty, an unspoken deal known now as the Pele Pact, where both companies agreed not to sponsor him because they figured they would spend so much in a bidding war that the end result would not be worth it. But during the World Cup final in 1970 against Italy, right before the opening whistle, Pele asked the referee to pause for a moment so he could tie up his sneakers. All eyes were on the greatest footballer of all time, his shoes, Puma shoes. According to a book, Sneaker Wars, Pele was paid $120,000 to just tie his shoes and would go on to earn $100,000 for the next 4 years, plus a cut of the sales of Pele brand sneakers. Pele scored 643 goals during the 18 years he played for Santos, winning 5 national, 12 regional and 3 international club championships. Interestingly, Pele would never play for a major football club like Real Madrid, Barcelona and Milan, despite many offers, and coming out of retirement in 1974. He signed with the New York Cosmos to play the following year. Contrary to modern times, there wasn't much money in football, but Pele is said to have been paid a significant sum of $2.8 million a year for the 3 years he played with the Cosmos, a total of $8.4 million or more than $46 million in 2022. According to sources, this made him the highest paid athlete in the world. Pele said in a statement, "In the United States, football was just starting, and my friend Steve Ross, the president of Warner Communications, wanted to help. They called me and I said okay, because it was different. Because it was different from playing in Europe. He was coming back to promote football in this country. His enormous paycheck wasn't popular with everyone." An op-ed by the New York Times sports editor at the time argued, "It simply doesn't seem morally defensive to pay a soccer player or any other sports figure for that matter over $4 million. Indeed, this is in line with the football legend's own sentiments. He believed modern sportsmen and women deserved their high salaries, but argued there was a major disparity between some players over others." In a statement, Pele said, "Football is not a normal profession where you can work until you're 80. He continued, "The good players, even the best in the world, can play until 34, 35, maximum 40, but then they have to live. The problem is how the money is spent. Now with TV and sponsors, some teams and players make a lot, others nothing." His recruitment to New York worked because for his final game against Santos, no less than 75,000 fans squeezed into the New York's Giant Stadium. He expanded on this point during an interview in 2018, responding to the question whether he agreed on Neymar moving to PSG. In a statement, he said, "It's a different life now. I cannot compare with my time when I was playing. What I would say is that now there may be only 2 or 3 players in the world worth that kind of money. In my day, there were 2 or 3 players in each team. There was Bobby Moore, Bobby Charlton, Johan Cruyff, Pele, Eusebio, Zico, George Best. Now we have one Neymar, one Cristiano Ronaldo, one Messi, and that's it." Pele's significant net worth would come after his final retirement in 1977, with notable endorsements from brands like Puma, Volkswagen, Emirates, and Hublot, among others. In a statement, he said, "When a company approaches me, I think first of all about what message it sends to the kids." He told the Harvard Business Review on how he selected brands to partner with. He continued, I get lots of proposals to do commercials for cigars, alcohol, beer. Lots of coaches and players do, but I'm never going to endorse those brands because they're not good for young people. In 1992, Pele was appointed the UNESCO champion for sports for helping disadvantaged children and promoting sports. In 2001, he was accused of being part of a corruption scandal that stole $700,000 from UNICEF. His marketing company, Pele Sports and Marketing, borrowed funds for a UNICEF benefit match, which didn't take place and the money wasn't repaid. Pele ordered an audit, shut down the company and sued his partner for embezzling $4 million. Nothing was ever proven. Reflecting on his career during an interview, Pele said he had a big responsibility to fans and most of the children today watch Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo, Neymar, but they also know the name of Pele, maybe from their fathers or from their grandfathers, but it's a big responsibility, and because I can never make a mistake in my life, I always have to make an example to these children. But I thank God for this honor. On December the 29th in 2022, the world would learn of the passing of the greatest footballer, arguably one of the greatest sports stars of all time. Pele died after a short battle with cancer after having a tumor removed in 2021.